All right, and we are live and direct now. So first off, I want to say thank you for coming on. A lot of people don't know, a long time coming, because like I said before we went live, you were literally one of the first people ever to ask to come on the podcast, and that's when ThugBirdz were popping hot, and I had to be that asshole. I was like, no, right this second, but overall, bro, I'm glad you're on the podcast. Good to see you're still around, and overall, welcome, bro.
Yeah, bro. Appreciate you having me, man. Been a long time coming, like you said, and been a long time listener, you know?
Yeah, I appreciate the support as well. Even in the comments, like, I see you, bro. I really do see you. And maybe I don't show enough love back to I guess, people on Twitter, but like, real talk, bro, I actually do appreciate you in that essence of it. A lot of people, you probably heard this stuff a lot as well. A lot of people probably do know who you are as well. But how we do want to start it off for people that don't know, who might be getting into the Twitter scene or crypto scene or randomly going down the YouTube rabbit hole and then come up to the podcast. Can you tell us a little bit about, I guess, yourself? What were you doing before crypto in general, and how did you find crypto? Doesn't matter if it was a good old BTC, Ethereum, Solana. What were you doing before crypto, and how did you get introduced?
Yeah, dude. So I'm Shake. I am the founder of Cyber Samurai NFT project on Solana, and I also do growth and business development for Soleil, which is like a tech services company for NFT creators. How did I get in? Yeah, so like what I was doing before crypto, a lot of different things. But right when I got into it, I was working for a tech startup, and I was doing account management there. Not super interesting, not super relevant. But yeah, when I first got into it, really was like I was buying drugs on Silk Road. So that was like several years back, but I didn't like set up wallets I had to set up a wallet, but I didn't like get into it. I wasn't trading it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Just just to buy like drugs from like the craziest Molly from the Netherlands and shit. Yeah. So that was when I first got into it, like several years ago. And then like March 2020, one of my friends who's like kind of like a mentor to me, like he's taught me a lot about investing and stuff. And he was like, yo, I never tell you to buy shit. And he doesn't, but he was like, yo, buy Bitcoin right now, like right during the COVID crash. So that was when I bought like half of Bitcoin or something. Like it's the first time I owned a decent amount of Bitcoin. And then that was kind of what started the thing. And so I read a book about the Federal Reserve, and I got really into it through Bitcoin. Is like the short answer. So yeah, that's how I got into crypto.
Nice. So appreciate you keeping it real. You know what I mean? Keeping it real with the Silk Road, everything like that. Where I guess honestly on the crypto side of stuff, what were you ever interested kind of at that point into that, or was that realistically just, hey, that's what the dollar bill is, that's the cash is in that sense of it, or did you really, I guess, grasp the crypto stuff, or was you just like, fuck it, bro, let me Netherlands, let's go ham? You know what I mean? Did you know what it was back then, I guess?
Not really, bro. I mean, I thought it was like an anonymous form of cash. And then again, it wasn't until like around COVID when one of my buddies explained to me, and he was like, no, it's like actually not anonymous. Like it's like a public ledger. But here's why it's valuable. Like, because it has like no like single point of failure. It's permissionless. And that's when I start to understand like, okay, it's this whole network of computers and that are like able to like transact trustlessly, you know? And then, like I said, I got really into it because I learned about like the US dollar and like the history of fiat. I won't get like too nerdy about that, but that's kind of how I got into it. Is I was like, oh my God, it like blew my mind. I was like, wait, like the Federal Reserve was formed by like a banking cartel. And I read this book called, what's it called? The Creature from Jekyll Island.
Okay.
And it's just like, it's literally all about like how the Federal Reserve was formed. And it's like super boring and dense. Honestly, I don't recommend it, but that was kind of like how I first got into it. Because then I learned that like money is like, not to sound too much like a crypto bro, but like money's like kind of a scam. Like how like money is created and like injected into the world. Like so that was kind of how I got like orange
dollars. You know what I mean? Just out of nowhere, like here.
Yeah, bro. Okay. It makes no sense. And I remember telling everybody, like I remember telling my mom, like, yo, this shit is so fucked. Like like I felt like everybody had to know, but what I realized is like a lot of people do know, but they just play the game. But then a lot of people don't know. Like a lot of people just go around and like work jobs and retire and they never like think about money. Like money dictates everything. You know what I mean? Everything we do is kind of like in the framework of money.
Yeah, no, 100%.
So it really fucked with my mind when I first learned like about Bitcoin, like why it exists.
Where I guess were you ever interested into the I guess the kind of Ethereum portion of that, or did you just hop onto the Solana part, or I guess when did you
Yeah.
start getting introduced into that type of stuff then?
So like yeah, so I was buying Bitcoin and then I like around this time I was like I don't know, 20 26 or something. And I was like man, I realized that like I had to invest um I had to find some place to get like outsized returns outside of my 401k and my 9 to 5 job because I was like, dude, I can't keep working like this. Like I need to get like some runway so I can try to work on businesses. And that got me into Wall Street bets. And I bought GameStop and AMC. It's like sounds so stupid, right? But I was literally just buying meme stocks like based on Reddit. And I made money like somehow. And and I told my friend about it, the same guy who taught me about Bitcoin, and he was like, "Yo, like you better take your money and run because the hedge funds will like make it back, like they're professionals." And then a lot of people probably remember because it was like on the news, but then like Robinhood shut down the buying of GameStop, and it was this big deal. And I'm sorry, this is a long story, but at that point, my friend was like, "Yo, you got to check out Uniswap, bro, because it's permissionless." And then that was when I really got the bug of crypto because before I had just been holding Bitcoin, but once I got on a DEX and was playing around with DeFi on Ethereum, that it was like mind blowing to me, and like really like stimulating. I was like, holy shit, like it's fun as fuck. And so that was like early, that was like right at the beginning of last year. So I've only like really been active in crypto for like whatever, like a little bit over a year and a half. Like
Strong.
actually doing shit in DeFi. Yeah,
No,
I
that
missed the DeFi summer. Otherwise, I'd probably be fucking retired. But
not
yeah,
waiting
six
for the
months
next
late.
summer.
Yeah.
Have you guys always been in like it's intrigued into numbers, and I guess you said like marketing or not the marketing, sorry, the finance you were in and kind of before the crypto. Um, did numbers always speak to you like that? Is that way like the DeFi stuff? Because like myself, like I know of DeFi, of course, stuff like that, but I know I'm not the best DeFi trader, things like that, which I want to be, of course, better. And of course, there's things that you can't do to do better. But what were you always interested in that? Is that why I guess kind of DeFi
Do you get the
stimulated?
NFT stuff more? Is that kind of like what speaks to you more, the NFT stuff?
So as of right now, because honestly, the regular job is customer service, bro. Like straight up on the phone, talking 8 hours a day. So again, like on this podcast, I actually back it up because I was like, bro, I got off work, like I got an hour, I want to go to the grocery store. And like sometimes I don't have enough time to do all the research, honestly, on the DeFi. So my buddy, hella fucking smart with this stuff. I'm like, all right, like you said, like there's bags to be made, like smart stuff and dangerous stuff as well on anything. But um, yeah, I guess NFTs I get more right this second because it's just easier in that sense of it. But um, I guess question on that one because I know you're kind of asking me, are those? Do you see those like it's two different ways, like for NFTs and DeFi, or like how would you see those? Or are they the same
I
thing?
mean, I like, I think, I think crypto's become so big that there's like all these different little niches of crypto, and I feel like if you're like a full time like degenerate, you can probably master like a couple niches, but I feel like it's really hard to get your head around just even one. Like I mainly do Solana NFTs,
Mm.
and I'm like definitely not up to date with everything all the time, and I miss a lot of like in hindsight easy trades and stuff. But like yeah, but to answer your question, like I mean I was good at math, but I wasn't necessarily like I don't know, I wasn't super into numbers. I thought I yeah, I honestly didn't really know about finance until I got into until like 2 years ago, and I started learning about
Reading the books and all.
simple financial concepts. Yeah, like I didn't really understand it because they don't teach you that stuff in school. But I guess what got me like what made it cool was that it was so like gamified. It felt like a video game, and I really like video games. And just the fact that like anybody could make a market on anything. Like I thought it was so crazy. Like I thought meme coins and like NFTs were so interesting that like that picture that Vitalik had the boner and then people made like Vitalik boner coin and like it mooned, you know? Like I just find that like psychology of that like so fascinating and like the freedom. Like
Mm-hmm.
that I guess that's what crypto, if I had to boil it down, like that's why crypto's exciting to me is because it's there's so much freedom. Like it's so permissionless and that is like that just is interesting to me like what people choose to do with complete freedom. um Bet on memes and shit like so that was yeah that was kind of a long-winded answer but yeah.
No, no, I'm supposed this is what it's here for, and I'm always long-winded on the times where I'm not always asking questions. So you can talk all you want. If you're ever talking too much, I'm like, all right, bro, hold up. But no, you're Gucci on that. With the, I guess with the
Yo, is this live right now by the way?
not live on that one. I
Oh,
guess
okay.
I was wondering. I was recording it. We can restart it
I
real
was gonna
quick and go
tweet it out,
live
that was all.
in a bit.
No, it's all good, it's all good.
But yeah, I was kind of wondering to myself. We'll leave this part in the podcast as well. I was like, he's making the clip on there. Hold up. But yeah, honestly, now we just haven't recorded and just have it done that way.
For
So
sure.
I was gonna say with the basically with the soul part, is this your first, I guess, project you've made in general? Doesn't matter if it was, I guess, on E things like that, because I haven't really fucked with E because I don't got that gas money. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I guess because your projects have been around for a while as well. Cyber Samurai, how did that come to play? When did you, I guess, think about it in your head and was like, this would be sick if X, Y, and Z happen? I guess, when did you think of it, and what is it for people that don't know as well?
Oh yeah. So yeah, how I got into it was like I kind of explained how I got into crypto, right? And at a certain point, like probably 6 months into like trading a lot of crypto, like I was working my 9 to 5 and then I would do crypto for like 5 hours every night. Like I was like obsessed with it, right? And just trading shit coins, yield farming, NFTs, all this shit. And I remember listening to this podcast called Up Only. I don't know if do you know that podcast with
Yeah, they
crypto
had all
with
this stuff.
Kobe.
I'm pretty sure from like ThugBirdz Podcast. I'm pretty sure, but
Yeah,
no.
it's like Kobe and Ledger, like
Yep,
crypto
yep.
Cobain.
They,
Yeah.
they go hard.
Yeah, they're sick as fuck. And so like I remember I listened to this episode with Kobe and Kobe was like, look, if you're like getting into crypto this year and he's like, the best way for you to like make life-changing money is probably to work in crypto. And so I was kind of like, damn, he's probably right. Cause I was like struggling trading. Like I wasn't like, I had some good trades and I made some money, but then I'd lose a lot of money. And I was like trying to leverage trade and all this shit. Right. And so, I heard that and I was like, okay, sick. Like, let me try to like work in crypto. So, and around the same time I was getting really into Solana. This was like last, April. So yeah,
Okay. Yep.
last April, right before or it was like May, like right before like the Elon crash where Elon was like, "Oh, Bitcoin sucks" or whatever, that first crash. So it
Mm-hmm.
was like right around there, got into Solana. I heard that podcast and I was like, "Okay, sick." And I had also been making content. Like I have my own podcasts. Tried to do a couple podcasts, and I had like a crypto YouTube channel.
Nice.
So then I would hit up all these like Solana hackathon projects, and I was like, "Yo, let me come work for you for free. Like, I'll do community management, and I'll make some content, like whatever. Like, whatever you guys need help with, like, let me know. I'm down to work for you for free." So I ended up working for a couple projects. The main one being Drift Protocol. I was like their first community manager, and
Nice.
then my at the same time I was a part-time community manager. My buddy got like one of my best, literally like my best friend from college, became a co-founder there, like randomly, like it was crazy. And so I got in really tight with their team, was working with them, whatever. Meanwhile, still having a 9 to 5, working from home. Like I was working remote, so I'd like slack off a lot and just do like crypto shit and like do shit for Drift, and just be in Discord all day. And so yeah, so I was with Drift. Do you know Drift Protocol?
Yeah, yeah. No, we
Uh,
actually had them on the
oh,
podcast
you
before.
interviewed them in the early days,
Yeah,
bro. I think that's how I
yeah.
found out about your podcast. Because
It,
Chris, like he texted
mm-hmm.
me. He was like, "Yo, I'm on Thug." I think that's actually how I learned about it. I remember that day.
Yeah, like to give
Um,
myself some props, but we've had some OGs up in the midst, like some
you've
straight up
had,
some
dude, you've had some
OGs.
banger episodes. Like Brett from FTX. I remember that episode. That was
Yeah,
that was sick as
that was
fuck.
like the third month he was ever like involved with FTX. I'm like, dude, I just get done getting cussed at by some old lady on my job, and next thing you know, I'm interviewing the president. Like, what the hell is my life right now?
Bro, I feel like you do want to work in crypto. Like, I feel like
Yeah,
you're
yeah,
probably
100%.
so
Yeah, I want
close
to
to
do
doing
the
it.
Web3 stuff. I guess I don't. I'm not the best, I guess, marketing on myself because I'm literally 24/7 working my regular job, and then
Do you work from home?
yeah, I do. That's why I can kind of be on Twitter. Hopefully, my job doesn't see this, but like, I'm literally that call
That's
center
how
guy.
I felt like that
You know what
too.
I
When
mean?
I remember,
I'm like,
I was like, man, I hope they don't find my Twitter because I'm just tweeting about crypto all day.
you know, I'm supposed to be on a
I
call. I'm like,
relate,
yo,
man.
call, like, talk to this person. Hey. No, yeah, honestly, that's the goal in that sense of it. And then, ironically, I made the 1 year anniversary is actually today, like the day we're recording it on the podcast, because
No shit, bro.
day one
Damn,
was
that's sick. That's almost our dude. We had our 1 year anniversary like 3 days ago for
with
Cyber
y'all's.
Samurai or of the mint. Yeah, of the mint was like 3 days ago. Yeah, that's crazy, man. It was almost
Nice.
at the exact same time that we launched that
That's
as you
strong as
guys.
hell. With y'all's project, I guess what was that mint? What was that mint price? And it's still
Yeah,
how did it start? Because I do hear you we were
I know
working
I
with the
didn't get
drift
into
wallet and
that. Yeah,
everything. No, you're good. I just love conversations, bro. I love I can talk to you,
yeah.
man.
I
I love
love I love
conversations.
going off on the tangents, man. That's where it gets interesting. But yeah, how it's so. I was working with Drift and I brought this idea with them. Like, so I was doing like daily live streams of trading in their Discord, um, helping make memes, just basic community management shit. Like, I ran their Twitter for like a little bit, whatever, and was just on all their meetings, helping with partnerships and shit. Anyways, I brought this idea up to them where I was like, "Yo, we should make an NFT where the NFT changes based on your trading. So like if you're making a lot of money and you're like a whale, then it gets like a whale pet next to it or something like just like something like that, right?"
Yeah.
And they were like, "Damn, that's a really sick idea." But they're like building this like really complicated decks, right? So we kind of tabled the idea and I put some thought into it and like came up with these like character ideas and talked to some artists and stuff. But I realized like, okay, like they're trying to launch a DeFi protocol. Like this is kind of a secondary idea for them. So I was like, yo, do you guys care if I just like do my own project? Like with this, like not this idea, but like I really want to do this. And so that's kind of like how it started. But
Hell yeah.
to kind of rewind on that a little bit, like when I was telling you, I wasn't really into finance before.
Mm-hmm.
That's why when I saw the NFTs start to pop off, I was like this, like it felt like second nature to me because before I was working in tech, I worked a couple years in fashion, like in streetwear for streetwear companies. So like I like interned at the hundreds. I used to sell like Billionaire Boys Club, like if you know that brand,
Yep.
and
I
like a
actually do.
couple other like little brands like Herschel Supply Co. and shit. So
Mm-hmm.
I was in that world because I'm from LA. So I took a couple years off from college. I worked in fashion, whatever. It's point being is like it was like a big passion of mine,
Yeah.
and so like collecting streetwear,
As he's
exclusive
rocking his
sneakers
own
and shit.
shirt. Sorry to cut you off, but he's rocking his own
Yeah,
shirt, ladies
yeah.
and gentlemen. That's what I'm talking about.
There you
Still got
go.
that fashion.
Yep.
Go ahead, my bad.
Yeah. No, all good. But when NFTs started popping off, I saw this parallel where I was like, okay, maybe I don't get the like financial like startup shit like fintech, but I definitely get like collectibles, and I get how they can be digital, and I get branding and stuff, and so that's why like that's when I was like, damn, I feel like I can make a project. Like I didn't feel like I had a good idea to make a DeFi project, but then when the NFTs popped up, I was like, okay, this is something I could do. So yeah, so I started grinding on the project. We ended up I think the Twitter account we launched in like July of last year, and this is like right as Solana NFTs started going really really crazy. Like with the DJ Nate mint is really what kicked it off.
Yep.
And yeah, around that time I was already working on Cyber Samurai, and
Nice.
so yeah, we minted last September. We did a 3 soul mint, which was like a lot of money at the time, and we did a 5K collection. So like I remember thinking like, oh, we're gonna do a smaller collection. Most people are doing 10K,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, we did the 5K at 3 soul, and yeah, that's I think that was your question. Yeah.
Yeah, no, 100%. On y'all stuff, at first it was pixelated, correct? And then I guess y'all did had the art upgrade. On I guess was it the same artist that did the pixelated stuff that was doing it as of now, or I guess why pixelated? Why the upgrade? How did that happen?
Yeah. Can I share my screen real? Does it
Yeah,
work
you can
if
do
I
everything, bro. Well,
sick?
maybe not everything, but you can do almost everything.
Let me see. All right, yeah. So yeah, what you're referring to, right? We used to have this style, or wait, is it showing it? Yeah,
Yep.
we used to have this style art. So basically the reasoning what happened for it, like, so no, it's not the same artist. The reason we did this, fuck, I should show you this Twitter thread I wrote about it because it's kind of crazy actually. But long story short, like we did the pixelated art because I was like I didn't have the other art ready, and like we because I was working in DeFi, I got connected early with Serum and Radium,
Nice.
and Radium asked us to be the first ones to launch on their platform, and so like I thought that that would be this super like bullish, historical thing. Like we're the first to launch on Radium, and so in order to make that deadline, we did this pixelated art. But I had been working with a different artist on some like more anime style art.
Mm-hmm.
See if I can find it. But yeah, dude, it was just like a cheap artist on Fiverr, to be honest, with the pixelated art. Like, and I really didn't like it, but I felt a lot of pressure to like get it
Get it
done
done.
by that date. It probably would have taken me like 2 more months, and then we wouldn't really have been early. So I don't know. Things happen. Everything happens for a reason or whatever. But it was
100%.
like
How,
I,
how,
I
how
definitely
long
wasn't happy with it.
does something like that take for like person myself? Like I know like crypto NFTs. But granted, I've never made like a project. I don't know how long like that stuff take. How long does I guess honestly like keeping it real, how long does something from going on Fiverr asking, hey, I need this collection to having an artist do it for the people that honestly this would be great for the people that don't want to get just used in that sense of it. You know what I mean? Like I guess how easy or how hard is it to do the both in that sense of it?
To make the collection.
Yeah, basically, yeah. Like how I guess how quick, how easy, because I'm sure it's not easy, but to make like a pixelated like one on Fiverr compared to like
Pixelated guy, dude, that took him like probably 2 or 3 weeks. Like it goes super quick.
with
And so, so we actually were selling these one of ones. We were auctioning these one of ones early, leading up to the mint. And like, because at the time I didn't have a dev to do a mint or anything. And I wanted to start building like a following and selling NFTs and making money from it. Cause I was like working like 12 hours a day on it. And I was like, dude, I need to make some fucking money. And luckily that worked. Like, so these are like these early ones that we did, and these were like started popping off on like the old Olaplex auctions. And then I was working with an artist on this like anime style. This kind of looks like what does it look like?
to me a war ish a little bit.
It looks like I
I
can't
don't
even
watch
think
too
of the name
much
of the
anime
game.
if you're thinking about anime stuff.
What's the Rory? This kind of reminds me of a
Yeah, yeah,
Rory.
yeah.
Yeah. So I remember scrapping this and being like, oh, it looks too much like a Rory, because then a Rory came out. But I don't know if I have it here. But yeah, anyways, we yeah, to answer your question, it's pretty quick, but then like do one that's more detailed. So like
I'm sure it's take time.
in the process of making this one, which is our most recent one, and like my profile pic and stuff, it took fucking hella long, bro. It took like 4 months of the artist working full time on it. I was like the art director, like I was giving him all the designs and stuff, and like it was just like several hours a day for me. So it was a lot of work to get it done right, but to get it done like shitty, it's not that much. So it just depends on like the level of quality. Because like we did
100%.
this one, which kind of turned out fucked up a little bit, but like this took hell long, and we made this whole female collection, and then we scrapped it, like because I was like, nah, this isn't gonna work. And we made this whole like little baby like chibi collection. We scrapped that because I was like, nah, it's not really on brand. So these both took like a couple months, 2, 3 months each, until we finally made this. But like we did an art upgrade instead of a new mint because I felt like, okay, these people paid, well, like people paid 3 SOL to mint. And at the time, our floor price was basically down at zero. Like we lost all the volume, whatever. But I was like, man, there's still some people that are like bag holding that like supported me, and I want to deliver back to them. Like I can't just like go, because dude, honestly, with this art, could have just called it like Cyber Ninjas and like raised another 2 million or 1 million.
Mm-hmm.
And I could have used the money, but like like I was just like, man, I need to like these guys pay for something and I need to like deliver that original vision. So that's why we did this free art upgrade.
Nice.
And it turned out really well. Like our volume went from like 10K soul all time to like 45,000 soul.
Hey.
The floor price went up. Like a lot of these guys like were able to take profit and make money. And now the floor price is still like 2 or 3x above mint. So it's higher now. And it's like that was like a huge turning point for us was like getting this new art. I basically had to hire a new team. I mean, it's kind of like I could go really into it, but yeah, that's the story about the art at least is like from the day we minted that pixel art, I was already working on this new art
Yeah,
because I
like
knew like this, I just knew like, man, this like, I don't like this, you know?
no,
Um,
I love it. I love honestly the honesty as well with it. On I guess like the creator side, how much like I guess stress is it like always knowing that I guess maybe not knowing, but like you said, like you want to I guess create the value, you know, for the holders that way. Is it because I mean I guess you would have to be stressful, you know, doing with the radium because I remember kind of the radium stuff because again I know DeFi-ish, but I was also so like, oh, what the fuck I got to do with this, huh? You know what I mean? But like
yeah.
as an owner, how like I said, how hard, difficult is it compared to like regular Web 2 shit to the Web 3 stuff? Is it like super as stressful as like an owner wise, or like what are the things not to sound like I don't know, we're not belittling or anything like that, but what are the things that the outsiders like myself that aren't owners take for granted? Like what are those hard, I guess, annoying things? You know what
But
I
like,
mean?
yeah, like I'll say a couple things. So when I minted, minting out a collection back then, it was like, so it was September 16th or 17th last year. And like, it was right around the time when things stopped minting out as much. But up until then, pretty much everything minted out, and like we raised 2.2 mil like pretty easily, to be honest. Like I definitely worked really hard up to the launch, but like all things considered, like that I knew back looking back, like that wasn't like sustainable. That people were like, bro, people were raising like 6 mil, 10 like Solamanders raised like 10 mil, like soul souls, like all these rugs were raising like tens of millions of
Mm-hmm.
dollars and like the work to go in to get that much money was not like equal, right?
Yeah.
So that money was easy, but what I'll say is like the let me see like where is this? Yeah, so like if you go to like Magic Eden, you look at all the NFT, there's like I think we on our app track like 11,000 NFT collections right now. There's like 11,000 collections minted. If you go on Magic Eden and you look like at who's has volume, because to me that's like a good sign of like, okay, if
Mm-hmm.
there's like a lot of volume, it means that there's a lot of interest. And you start going down the list, right? And like pretty quickly, this isn't sorted, but like pretty quickly you can see it starts dropping off. Like in the top 200, the 200th ranked project has 22,000 soul volume. So what's the math on that? 200 divided by 11,000. So all these 200 projects are in the top 2% of all projects minted on Solana. So like my point being is like to get a lot of volume and sustain the volume is actually, for the most part, I think really hard work that most like founders I've talked to like aren't prepared for because nobody really knows what the fuck we're doing. We're selling JPEGs, right? Like, is it a bit like what type of business is this? You know, Web3 business. What does that really mean? And you have to constantly like pivot and adapt and listen to your community and like and kind of, but at the same time keep people on their toes and like be really really good with your marketing. And it just takes like you could ask my girlfriend like it just you work a lot, like you work a lot of hours. But all that being said, like for me personally, it's really rewarding because it's kind of like an intersection of art, tech. I get to work on clothing. I get to like build community, and like all those things are big passions of mine.
Oh
So
yeah.
it's really rewarding, but it's like it's a lot of work. So if anyone's listening and they're trying to start a project, like make sure you really want to do it, you know, because I think a lot of people don't realize what they're getting into.
Yeah,
Um,
I would believe because a lot of different people that have you know been on the project, you know, the owners that said the same thing. They're like, hey, you know, I've always heard you know the real work you know starts kind of like after mint, but they're like, you know, it really is because you know it's one thing to get the hype, beforehand and then sell, but like to hold the floor prices, things like that, and to stay around for the length of time. Because there's been a couple projects that have been on like the podcast. I guess they're still there, but I know some they're not as big as they first were, and some which I'm sure are gone. So accolades to you for still being here. You know what I mean, and not rugging like some other people and things like that. On I guess with your NFT stuff, is it DeFi gaming? Is it still kind of doing, I guess, what you're saying beforehand, where that stuff had like animates, or is that just something you were scrapped on and then you went this way? Or for someone that doesn't have your NFT, I guess what comes with joining the Samurais?
Yeah, I mean, so like since we like the ideas I had going into the mint, like some of the things we've kept with and some things we've like got rid of. And then, like in 1 year, we've like gone through a lot of ideas and scrapped a lot and finished a lot of ideas that didn't work, and different things. But I would say like right now, the main kind of like what could I say? Like the main thing you can do with our NFTs is like plug them into this. Here, I can just show you it.
Yeah.
It's like a soft staking rewards thing. And so it's pretty simple, but it like you basically whatever, you get your Samurai in the wallet, connect your Phantom, and you start earning these credits, and then you can like it's credits and raffles thing, right? It's like our staking and raffles thing.
Yep.
The cool part that we added is like this like leaderboard, so it plugs in with Twitter and Discord, so you can like you can go to our app and then like find other people in the community, and you can like let me show you. You can like make status. So it's kind of like a social media mixed with like a staking app mixed with gambling a little bit because it's raffles. So I could be like, like I'm on ThugBirdz Podcast.
On the
right?
best
then,
podcast in the world. Clap it up.
Yeah, bro. And yeah, so like that's one product we built.
What was the website on that one? Path Protocol. For the people that are listening. Okay, pathprotocol.io. Because we're like the Joe Rogan experience. We have like 27 billion people that always come on. So
so you see that right there? It gives you the little status on ThugBirdz Pod.
Strong.
And then like, so I could be like, oh, who's this guy? Like Osk, and then it would take me to his Twitter profile. And so the idea is like you kind of like it's kind of like this. It's not a social media, but it like integrates with Twitter and Discord, so it kind of connects both. You can find people's Twitter and Discord, and then you can like like I said, you stake, you kind of have a little gambling aspect. And then the other thing we built is a trading app, which I can show you, where basically you get like real-time floor price alerts. So you can say, like, you could pull up ThugBirdz. There's so many derivatives. There we go. So like, you can hit
looking at?
ThugBirdz.
14 Sol, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, come on down. No financial advice.
You can say like
research.
Exactly. There you go. So you could be like, if this goes above 100 Sol, notify me. And we have Telegram, Discord, we have text messages, and like it happens. It actually updates faster than Magic Eden. So it goes through our RPC node. So we don't use their APIs. So like we get the data super fast and push the alerts to you.
Can anyone
so those
use
are like
this,
the two main things.
Or did you have to have a Phantom wallet connected to it and y'all's NFT, or is this?
Yeah, this one you have to have our NFT, but we're like in the next month we're gonna do the public launch and open it up to everybody. Nice. But yeah, right now you have to have our NFT. So those are like the two main things we built that I'm like pretty proud of. And then I guess the other thing, it's not really like we didn't build it per se, but we made a comic book about Solana. So it's like has Anatoly and Raj. This is when he's like thinking of the like proof of history Solana or whatever. And then it's like these DeFi warriors that are battling. And like, yeah, so it has like Pepes and shit. It explains DeFi like in this fun way, like, oh, here's a liquidity pool with this is Radyium, right?
And so, I like it actually.
Yeah, so this is something that we did and like that we're continuing to do. And this is just becoming like
something like this happen. Was it like an artist or someone you know, or how did this happen? Is that the same artist that was doing the y'all's like new art, or Okay,
This
JP.
is the artist.
Nice.
Yeah, his name's JP or Jose, and
Jose.
he did this art. He also did the comic, and he's also doing like any like we also have like our airdrops, it's like sushi. So he also did this on like a cute little like sushi thing, you know.
Oh no.
Um, so he's super talented, dude, and
Do you know if
yeah,
he was
he's like
doing, I guess, overall
he,
crypto
he
stuff before, or
he
like this
wasn't
is
doing NFT stuff really. No, like
nice?
he's done like some commissions, but he had his own like comic book studio. So his thing is comics. Like he loves
Oh yeah.
comics. He lives in the Philippines, and now we hired him full time. So like now he's just full time working on stuff for Cyber Samurai and like the whole ecosystem that we have. He also
Have
does
y'all
these too.
ever had like the conversation? Because I always like to know like how artists feel like going from, hey, I guess if he's been a comic, then that would still be great if he's doing comics, but like how different it is from like the Web 2 to Web 3 world, knowing that the hell people are buying this stuff. Oh, that's fresh
Yeah,
too.
yeah. So this is like a recent one he did that we auctioned. Um,
He has some
and
skill.
these are kind of like the premium ticket. Like these are like the one-on-ones. So we're still doing some of these. Honestly, the main reason we do it is so that I can like pay his salary because we don't make that much from royalties. But yeah, so this is like one of my favorites too. So it's like very like
Shit's clean.
taking a minute to load, but kind of Neo Tokyo, cyberpunk inspired. But yeah, so I have talked to him like on Zoom calls and stuff, and like I would say he's like really appreciative of the fact that he can like just do art and get paid. Like I pay him really well. Especially for like even for US salary, honestly, I pay him like pretty good for an artist. But in the Philippines, he's like making a shit ton of money.
Yeah.
And so he thinks that's really cool. And then like the thing with him is I've been trying to kind of like encourage him more to have his own online persona because people love his art and they want to like connect with him, but he's very reserved. So he doesn't really like the promotion and marketing and business, but that's okay because it's kind of like our team handles that and he can just do what he likes to do, which is the art. But
Yeah.
yeah, he just really likes it, bro. And you can even see like I he I don't know if you can see it on this picture, but you see down at the foot here, that's his signature, Zaitis. That's like his artist name.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if it's so small, but yeah. Um, so I don't know. Give him a follow on
Wow.
Twitter. He literally just made. I was telling him like, bro, can you please make your Twitter public because it was like private. But yeah, he's a great dude, man. I,
Yeah. Shout out to
I'm
you,
really lucky
Jose.
to have
Keep crushing it,
found
big
him. Yeah.
dog. Um, on you kind of brought up I guess royalty stuff like that. What are your thoughts on that whole that situation of royalties since you are an owner? Say forget do royalties and that stuff like are those because honestly I always hear the conversations but I'm not always in there long enough because like I said I'm always working so you've probably answered this like 1,600 times but I apologize but like what are your thoughts on that part of it because 5% of three soul is nothing, but of course 3% of 25,000 soul. Like how much does that stuff come into play? How much can be made, make or break on a project, and I guess
Yeah.
should projects have more than one way of revenue?
Yeah.
Kind
I
of
mean, oh man,
that was a big
it's
question.
complex, right? Like,
Yeah.
yeah, like I actually I think about this a lot because it's like for us, it's the main way we make revenue is our royalties, and like
Mm-hmm.
I said, we actually don't make that much, but for us, it's not a huge problem right now because our floor is 7 Sol. So people are still, for the most part, like willing to pay the royalty, and they trade on Magic Eden. Our royalty on this one, we actually made higher, so it's 7% because we basically did a whole new min and hired a new team. So I was like, man, we gotta like recoup some funds, Like I put like hundreds of thousands of dollars into it.
Yeah.
And I was like, we gotta make some money, hopefully on the back end. So we raised royalties a little bit. But the thing is, I think that when I think about people's like individuals incentives, most of the NFT activity is people trading them, right? Like people buy it to want to sell it at a later date. Whether you're an investor for 6 months or you're 6 minutes, like most people buy it to try to sell at a later date. And so one of their primary motivations is like to sell it at a higher price and make profit. So they're profit motivated. And so, like you said, if it's a $25,000 NFT, the 5% fee is like a shit ton of money. And so what I think is going to continue to happen is royalties are going to trend lower and lower and lower. And like, because right now, if you bought this on Magic Eden, you're paying 7% to us and 2% to Magic Eden. So you're paying 9% on your trade, which is like insane, right? Because if you,
do people know where you moved to? I don't want to dox you on that one. Is this
Florida.
Okay, yeah, we got 7% over in here too, man. We're almost just like we're just like your royalty tax over there. So people in the States know everything. You know what I mean? That's always one thing, because I mean, I've sold not your NFT, but I've NFT before. And I'm like, oh man, my 0.3 is gone. But at the same time, I'm like, that's fucking life. You know what I mean? Like, and the flip side, I'm like, I shouldn't be worrying about 0.3. Like, but one of the comments you said beforehand is, money does make the world go around. So, if I need to go to my buddy's house who's 5 miles away but he got no gas, and I'm not talking Ethereum gas, but like US gas, then you gotta have money somehow, But
yeah, exactly.
I've always wondered,
exactly, like, and I think it's like, I think because of that, people are gonna avoid them. Like people try to avoid taxes, right? People try to avoid any type of fee. Like even if like as much as we want to make people pay the royalty, my current opinion is that it's like a losing battle, and that like so kind of like what we've started to do is kind of go with the flow more. And I don't know if you know about this app Tensor. So like we created a liquidity pool on here where like the fee is only 1%. But we provide the liquidity. So if people want to instantly sell, they can go, where's it? Global floor. But yeah, they can sell it for 6.3, directly like into the pool. And then we all like, it's basically like a, token liquidity pool. Yeah. But I mean, it's a good point, man. Like there's like, you pay taxes on things. I just don't know if it's going to stay because people are profit motivated, like, and they'll be able to find ways around it. What I think is going to end up becoming more normal is for, like, I don't know if you know, with CryptoPunks, they have 0% royalty, but the team kept 10% of the supply. So they kept 1,000 CryptoPunks. And then as the price went up, the team has sold 500 CryptoPunks. So the team made bank, even though there's 0 royalties. And that's a way that nobody's going to avoid the team having more NFTs to sell. And so I kind of think projects are going to do that. Like if you see DJ and Apes right now, they're doing the crate auctions that are going for like 25,000. So DJ and Apes is about to raise like 100K from selling more NFTs. And like, like I said, we just did this. We just raised 2.3K like from selling a premium NFT. So I think it's going to become normal to like have to work around it to make revenue.
I'm curious because
I wish that it would just be royalties, because I think it makes sense, but I just think people on an individual level are selfish,
Yeah, no, 100% with that one.
Just fine.
I do think it's gonna go through phases, because like I'm sure right now, because it's NFT projects, pictures, stuff like that. But like I'm sure we've all heard a lot of like the very Gary V stuff when it's like, Ticket Masters, things like that will make it like the NFTs. And if that's how they're making their revenue, like when it comes to the big stuff, I mean, maybe there might be workaways around that, but I mean, just like, I always use the example, it might sound silly, but Gary V talks about, the NFL like tickets or like just ticket stubs. You go on eBay, people will buy them, things like that. If, the Jaguars, because, go Jags. If the Jaguars like sell tickets and then I resell it on there and they can get a portion of it, like corporate wise is going to love that sense of like the smart contracts, things in that nature of it. So I do think it'll go up and down, because like you said, people are money hungry, selfish. They want to have it for themselves. Again, I want my 0.3 Solana. Why fucking pay the taxes? But at the same time, I guess that stuff doesn't seem too big to me. But on the flip side, again, if you're a whale and you're buying $10,000 or 10,000 sold, and of course it all adds up. But again, the flip side is if you're doing it for the project, support the project, because any other ways, you're gonna have to sell merch. You're gonna have to sell something else. It's gonna be just like honestly anything else. And after the hype dies, then what is it? So I'm always curious to see how that's gonna go, because I think now is the time where it's like you said, it'll up down. People trying to get around it. Some people won't care. They're just like, you know what? Let's just get with it. I'm curious to see how the next years will be just in that sense of it. With the with the project that y'all have, anything y'all are working on right now that people do know, you don't know, any random alpha, anything like that, or what? What you got going on now?
Yeah, dude. I mean, so I think what we're really focused on right now is driving value to the collection, like via the software product I showed you, Path. And we have some like pretty creative ways of doing that. So like actually literally today, the day we're recording this, we just onboarded our first customer. Um, so
Congrats.
I'm pretty hyped about it. Yeah, thanks. And like there's gonna be we're gonna I can't say too much right now, but like we're gonna kind of like show people how a way to kind of create a sustainable reward system where our company won't need royalties, like hopefully won't need to sell more NFTs, and we can make revenue from our software products and like funnel some of that value to our holders without being like a rev share thing.
Nice.
I kind of found this way to like do it that I think is pretty cool. And so that's kind of like the main like long-term thing that we're working on. In the more short term, we're releasing some more information around the thing I showed you, these like the sush,
Mm-hmm.
this airdrop. So pull it up again. Yeah, here we go. So yeah, this thing. Um, and yeah, like I actually like Jose just sent me some of the new ones. So we're gonna do like another one of those airdrops. We're gonna kind of like tease out information about what those do. And that's what I'll say right now. Yeah.
No,
So
I like it, man. I'm trying to not trying to get you in trouble. I ain't trying to get some little alfalfa. You know what I mean? But no, with the time, I'll start wrapping it up because I got you at the 47 minutes. So a couple more questions, but on the sense of like crypto right now, like what are your what are your thoughts? Are you bullish, bearish? Don't really care in it for the long haul? Did you keep up with it like kind of how you were in the DeFi days, like on the like trades, or um,
yeah,
when we're
yeah,
not
bro.
talking on this, how do you do crypto?
Yeah, dude. I mean, good question. Like, I could talk, I could talk for. I love talking about like the price action stuff, but like, I mean, right now, like, so I have to think about it a lot because we make money in Sol. So it's constantly a question. Some people might say this is stupid, but like because I trade, like I'm always thinking I want to sell Sol higher. Like I want to have more dollars to put into our company to like pay designer, pay artists, pay devs, pay community managers, all this stuff, right? Build our treasury in USD. So I'm always thinking about it. But yeah, like right now, because I mean, they just had FOMC today. I actually haven't even looked at what they said, but like it's just kind of it's a bear market. It's very dictated by what Jerome Powell says, going back to the Fed, And I think it'll be some time before a lot of new liquidity gets like pumped into the market. But at the same time, like there's money to be made as a trader, like just in different places you can find alpha. But yeah, I'm like for the most part, how I'm treating it is like get into stable coins, like for the business, like especially like we have bills to pay, we have people to pay. So yeah, I'm being pretty like risk off with it and just trying to kind of weather out the storm till things
So
get
Solana
crazy again
summer.
because yeah. I mean, even right now, bro, right? The Magic Eden volume, what is it at?
Honestly, I haven't even looked today.
24-hour volume is 136K. Yeah, it's
People are still
pretty good in
spending
Sol
money.
terms.
Yeah.
Um, Not that good in dollar terms though. Like, but if you're just trying to stack Sol, I like that. But yeah, I mean, my kind of like general outlook is it's gonna be 6 months or so, probably longer, maybe a year until things like turn around and
Get
there's
there.
bullish kind of market structure again. But yeah, I just love what I do in NFTs so much. So we're gonna stay around and try to, get our floor price really high so our holders are happy.
That's
That's like the main thing.
I think that's always the goal on everything. Ain't nothing wrong with more money in the essence of it. Last question, I guess last two questions. Hindsight looking back from when you first started, when you first started, asking Drift Protocol to work and started asking, the different projects and things to do work with. What major advice would you tell yourself now, knowing what you do know, back then?
Oh, good question, man. I would say just like believe in yourself more and be yourself, like be true to yourself. Um, yeah, that's something for me where like a lot of times I underestimate myself or like don't give myself enough credit and doubt my own capabilities and listen to other people too much. So that's what I'll tell myself, like for sure.
Hell yeah. And then I guess last question, anything we haven't really gone over? Because I kind of just been talking about everything as of right now. Anything we haven't gone over that you do, I guess want to let people know, or anything that's on the tip of your tongue, or any, I guess, closing comments overall?
Yeah, actually, there's one thing. So let me pull up the website. But yeah, like I said, we just onboarded our first customer today, and so if there's anybody listening to this who has an NFT project or is really involved in a project as a holder, and they want to check out some of our tech products. So this is like our tech company entity is called Soleil. It's the same team and stuff, but we have this soft staking reward system. We have an art upgrade software because we built it all in house for our art upgrade, and it's really fucking dope. Honestly, like it's kind of like what the youths like tried to be, but it actually works like really well. I mean, granted, we didn't have as much traffic as them, so maybe I don't want to shit on them because theirs looks pretty cool, but it's basically that type of thing. And so if your project like wants access to like really cheap soft staking or art upgrade software or really anything else you need, airdrops, revenue distribution, like we can handle all that stuff because we've done it and we do it for super low cost with like I always say Web 2 customer service because we like we all are doxxed and have like a office address and shit like handle it like a real business. And yeah, I'm like that's the main thing. That's not the main thing, but like in terms of like what other people might be interested in,
Hell
if
yeah.
you need those services, hit us up.
And then the last show for yourself, because even though it's ThugBirdz Podcast, we can talk about anything and everything. Where can people find you at? You got a podcast as well. Like what's all your stuff? Where can people find you at?
Yeah, main place is just Twitter. It's at 0x_shake. And yeah, that's that's where you can find all my stuff. But yeah, I have a YouTube channel and then obviously like Cyber Samurai. Go to cybersamurai.xyz. That's our website. It has links to everything, explains everything. And yeah, dude, I appreciate you so much for having us on, man.
No,
Having me on.
100%, man.
Yeah.
I was thinking when you said the Web 2 service, I was like, because you don't want to be the Web 3 service, because you'd be like me, you'd be taking like a year to get back to people. Like, what the fuck, Gaddis? But no, man,
Yeah,
I
bro.
appreciate it. And
I know how
honest,
it is, man. That's like me, honestly, me personally, my DMs, like I'm not good at answering them, but I have people who handle the tickets and stuff. Like you got to.
there you
But it's
go.
yeah, bro. Most people that you talk to about partnerships and shit like don't follow through. You can get far in Web 3 by just like getting things done. Like you don't have to be like the best in anything. You just need to like be reliable and go places.
No, 100%.
That's why I'm surprised, bro, that you're like I feel like someone's gonna hire you, bro, like if you want to, or you're gonna co-found something because
Hey, you
you
know what I
know
mean? If someone's hiring, listen, my
you've been
ears are
consistent,
open.
man.
Um, I try and stay, but honestly, some of the stuff like you said, like
Does ThugBirdz doesn't like pay or give you like a little money to run the pod?
we got sponsored one time, but listen, ThugBirdz. Honestly,
We don't need.
we're
I
shit.
didn't mean to bring that up,
No, no,
but
you can
yeah.
bring it up on anything. I mean, the like honestly, I've kept the name of ThugBirdz podcast, and there was times when I've had that thought. I'm like, damn, like can I be everyone else because the ThugBirdz or the names it struggles sometimes. You know what I mean? I have no overall ill feelings towards Thug, granted, because he's never like lied to me personally on that one, but also I've seen the 3-4 different teams. Like I'm literally the dude that's still been here because I enjoy doing the podcast stuff. So overall, no one's really getting paid on my stuff or anything like that. And then also like royalty stuff. I mean, there's a couple thugs here and there. So no, I do this stuff in the long term. Like I first started it just because I wanted to do it. I wasn't thinking about any paid stuff. I was thinking, oh, maybe in a year or 2 years, I'll start getting 10,000, 20,000 views on YouTube, and that'll be the money. And
yeah, that alone could be money.
Because of this, like I have worked for like somewhat, like I've put on the video today, like I worked for Audius, like doing their podcast stuff. So like I've had some opportunities to it. Granted, if y'all know anyone that is hiring in the Web3 world, come on over. Listen, you got an audio engineer, video editing, podcasting. I'm your man. But this is it's more of an episode about you. So I do appreciate you coming on. Again, I always appreciate you, honestly, just being loyal because I've literally seen you back in the days with the podcast and the Twitters and just literally always showing love. So I see all that stuff because
bro. I'm glad to see you still going, man. Like it's hard to be consistent with a podcast. I've started a podcast with my girlfriend and then like we like didn't continue it. And then like I have a podcast with my buddies, but like we don't really do it every week and we try to, but it's hard, man. Like, but you've been super consistent. How many episodes have you done?
So Discord episode, I'm weird because now I think of Discord's episodes. This is the 98th like Discord one,
wow,
but we've had over 100 in general because I've had 4 to 7 different like Twitter spaces. But I don't know. I was, I guess, the naive person when I first started this, Twitter Spaces wasn't around, and I was like, or the Twitter Spaces was, but the Twitter Spaces recording wasn't around. I was like, bro, I'd be on my work break for 15 minutes here and fucking alpha out the yin yang and go back to work. I'm like, dude, one, like I've used to live stream on Twitch, D Live, like all this stuff before, and so I have all the equipment. I'm like, if I could literally be that middleman, because again, I don't have the money like that. I'm just a regular everyday fucking Joe. But if millionaire Joe Schmo listens to the podcast and like, you know what, I actually fuck with Shake. Like I kind of like his work. Like, oh shit, and then goes ham on y'all stuff. And or vice versa. And or if they're like, oh yo, fuck this guy Shake. Like I like this project, but fuck the owner. Like I want to be that middle guy to help because that's how I can help. So as cliche as it is, yeah, I want to be able to change someone's life, even if it's not the money wise. That's why I love asking how it is, how it comes. Because like the Catalina whales, I know people are, I guess, not exactly flooding them because they had the other stuff, but when they first came on, like I knew they were going to be strong because one, they were like the first project that both of them came on like camera, and then just they were real. They weren't like, it wasn't fluff. It wasn't, oh well, let me say that. They were just like, no, bro, this, you know what I mean? Same with Soul Gods. They were the first, they came on. The community was ham. Me and P Doc knew the money back in the day. We're like, bro, they're gonna be strong as well. Like, oh shit. So, no, I appreciate stuff like this. And kind of like I was tuning in the DMs, like, that's why I'm on the fence sometimes where I'm not always in Twitter spaces. And, I mean, if we hold a Twitter space right now, there'll be like 3 people, which in the sense of crypto world, people can be like, oh, this fuck is this? You know what I mean? Compared to, I guess, the other stuff. So that's where I'm at. And then, again, putting a face to, a voice and everything like that, I think does bring a little bit more personal to it. And then I do know as well, sometimes, say if me and you are talking or me and to someone else and they see, a Frank or Anatoly, someone come in, people do change up, you know what I mean? So I'm trying to keep it a buck with them because, it's easy to,
so true.
to flip it off and stuff like that, you know what I mean? But
I heard like on Twitter Spaces today, Magic Eden came on to like the space I was listening to. And like when they're like, people shit on Magic Eden all the time, right? I've done it too. But then they came up and everybody was like, hey, I just love what you guys are doing with this, blah, blah, blah. Like, such a good job. Like no one wants to say it like to the person, which is pretty funny.
Yeah, and that's something where when we start doing more, because some of them are going to be, I guess, kind of like how it is, and others can be just, I'm just going to be posting it, chilling it, things like that. But like, I'm not scared to ask those questions. Like, if you look at the first podcast ever with ThugBirdz Podcast, I literally asked Thug, I was like, bro, is this a rug? What? No, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not afraid to ask those questions just because Like, fuck it.
That's
What's the
funny.
worst case scenario? Say no, yes, no, or if someone's lying, like, hold on, bro, why your voice just cracked? Like, hold on, you know what I mean? But I don't know. And then and even again with all the, I guess I'm going on a tangent now. With all the kind of ups and downs of the ThugBirdz, some people love Thug, some people are like, but when our 1 year anniversary, that it was the same type of vibe when everyone was chilling and came in and everyone's like just chilling. I'm like, bro, why is the vibe all fucked up? I'm like, bro, let's come on, you know what I mean? So I'm like keeping it real because it's easy to keep it fake and fuck the bullshit. Man. People are gonna like you or not like you. So that was, I guess, my tangent on it. But
I agree, bro. That's like what I was saying, bro. Like I have to remind myself to just be myself, bro. Don't just to be authentic and let things fall into place. Like because when you start like sacrificing your character and shit, like
people see it, man.
You can get caught up like being one person over here and then being a different person over here and then I don't know, it's just complicated, man.
No, 100%.
Just like you said, people either like you or they don't, and like it's just if you just be yourself, you can keep it simple.
Real recognize real, bro. I'll leave it quoting something my dad said, and I'll never believe I'm about to say this from what my dad said. Probably dad won't ever watch the episode, but he used to own his own business and stuff. And then he used to, I guess constructions, things like that. But he would dress really nice, things like that. And he was like, I knew it was better than I was when all the other business. And he was like, finally, I just, jeans tucked in shirt, just like him. And he's like, people were just confident. They knew that, hey, you're not trying to bullshit on someone compared to someone else. Like you can tell those type of things. So again, people coming in like you just coming on, even being real with the whole, honestly, Silk Road stuff, because like it's valuable being vulnerable to an extent, because honestly, like I keep it real as well. I know that one of the texts that you said you said you was doing like a G a day or something like that, and like stopped on that one, and like honestly, I'm sure a lot of people are going through maybe not that exact stroke, things like that, but like that's like I don't know, man. I just want to help people in sense in any way, bro. Like I don't know, I guess what I'm talking about now, but like it's refreshing to see that people are open to be themselves and be like, hey, you know what? You might think of this, but like still hustling, grinding on every way. So,
yeah, man.
I don't know. I mean, other than that, you still good in that sense of it? Everything's still going well? No more?
Yeah, bro. I mean, no, I think I get the sense of what you're saying. Like, but yeah, bro, like for me, like I don't have anything to hide. I mean, I don't know.
Love it.
Like I used to lie all the time, and like I used to be like a drug addict. And what I found is like that once I was like just honest, like I just got way more shit done because I didn't have to balance these lies in my head. Like I said, like oh, if I act one way to you and I'm like I love ThugBirdz, and then I go to my other friend and I'm like, oh fuck ThugBirdz. Like then I have to remember that, oh wait, when I'm around Gaddis, I gotta tell him this, and then it's like all that shit stops you from like doing your God-given purpose. You gotta remember all these fucking lies, and so like my attitude is always like, man, I don't like to lie, like because for better or for worse, like I could come tell you like, oh man, like I'm a successful millionaire before Web3, but like no, bro, I wasn't. Like I was like just fucking struggling with like paycheck to paycheck, but. And it was my first business that I really made any real money. Like, I could tell you, oh, I know what I'm doing, bro. I have Web2's business successful, man. But like, why would I do that? It just fucks me up in the long term.
People do that. You know what I mean? So
yeah, they do a lot.
I know for a fact,
especially in LA, bro. Like that's kind of the culture I come from. It's like very fake. That's why I love it here, bro. In Florida, I feel like definitely it's just more real. Like there's fake people everywhere, but. It definitely feels like I can just like people just be are themselves more here than where I'm from, which I love, man.
Florida people are different,
refreshing.
Bro. I'm sorry, you're gonna see some crazy shit in general.
They are crazy.
Florida memes are, or some of those aren't memes. It's like real shit, bro. Other than that,
they are crazy, bro.
Florida's not too bad.
Like today, man, I like real quick. Today, I bought some gym equipment, like because I'm making a little garage gym. So I had all these like weights, like I had like 400 or 500 pounds of like weight plates in my trunk in my Corolla. And that thing was like riding super low, But it's like when I was driving around, I was like, you know, I don't think anybody thinks it's that weird that I'm doing this because there's so much crazy shit in Florida. Like it's just this isn't even that weird. Like,
Nah,
you know,
bro. Yeah. Oh, you're gonna go work out? Cool. Okay, sweet. See
it
tomorrow.
was just great. It was fucking sitting low. It looked like a lowrider. My damn, you know, Corolla is hella funny.
I love it.
You know,
No, I'm gonna wrap it up on that one because again, things like this, I just love just talking and just bullshit and things like that. But I know some people are probably gonna be in the comments like, "What the fuck, Gaddis?" Like, stay on point. But life's life, and you know, fuck it. But no, on that one, stick around. I'm gonna end it on my end. Again, if you're not following OX_shake, go ahead and hit the follow on that one as well. But again, Big Dog, thank you for coming in, tuning in, and showing some love with the podcast. And hopefully, after we go off, you still like the podcast. You know what I mean? Hopefully, you're not fake on that one. I know you're not. I'm just bullshitting. Now I'm just talking. But I'll be right back, and we'll end it. But tell you, man, I appreciate it. All right.
Hell yeah, bro. Thanks for having me again, man.
Hey, you got it. All righty, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, one more time, let's put your hands together for Shake, baby. Once again, if you're not already, go ahead and follow ThugBirdz, ThugDAO, ThugPod, and do yourself a favor, get yourself a hashtag call. And until next time, y'all, stay fresh, stay clean, stay positive, and clap it up for yourselves, baby. Oh, yeah.